Hey Nicole, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Look at you looking so
Yeah.
dapper there.
Oh, thank you. I buttoned up to the top today.
I like the color and I like the beard.
Well, I've gone a month without shaving. So this is what happens in a month.
It looks
I don't know.
great. Do you
I don't
trim it
think my
up
kids are loving
or
it.
is it
My kids don't like it.
no? It looks good. I like it. So you trim it, you like shape it,
Oh
or is it
no,
just
I
like
haven't done
natural?
anything to it. This
Oh,
is
okay.
this is like every time I drink, I get it all stuck up in here. Yeah, no. I wake up in the morning and this is like up here. Yeah, it's Yeah, and I get a lot of garbage from the kids because this is a different color than this.
Oh, the white on the bottom. Do you want to know something that so my husband, he does not have any gray hair anywhere on his head. Like his brothers accuse him of dyeing his hair. But the beard, right in the chin, the little sides, just a little bit of white hair growing in on the sides. And so I introduced him to a root covering pencil, which I was just joking about. I was like, well, if it really bothers you, you could always use this. And he was like, huh. And he just was jokingly put it on. He's like, this is amazing. Do they so I don't know. I don't know if he's actually going to actually incorporate that into his routine, but I think probably you need more than a pencil. I
Oh no,
don't
yeah, I
know.
need a paintbrush. Felicia has been, she said to me because yeah, I've got it going on everywhere. But I think I started going gray when I was like 20, late 20s. My beard, it feels like has always been gray. I don't know why. I think it's
Yeah,
stress.
that's where it
I think it's
starts.
stress from kids. Um and yeah, this is like pure white. And Felicia always says, you should dye your beard or dye your hair. And I don't
It's a,
think I could
it's
do
a
it.
slippery slope, let me tell you,
Right?
because
Then
then
what's next?
you're dealing with roots. I mean, I am battling my roots every few weeks. I'm so glad it's like a little not too focused if I bend
Then
over.
I'm gonna go get a consultation to pull all this back.
Oh gosh, Eric.
No, okay, I won't do that. That was weird. Sorry. I
You're
didn't mean
good.
to scare you. No, so I think a lot of people say I'm kind of resembling Santa Claus right now.
Eh,
I'll take that.
I think it's okay. Not Santa.
Yeah,
Santa's
no, that's
Santa's cousin, Santa's uncle. No, not uncle. That would be worse. Nephew. Young
Santa's
Santa.
nephew from Queens, New York.
That's
Hey,
right.
Santa, what's up? No, anyway, how you been?
I've been good. I've been good. Feeling
How's
good about
Savannah?
she's sleeping. So I'm on borrowed time. I know, I gotta be quiet. That's how I feel. It's like I have to do everything between naps, right? I think in one of our first podcasts we talked about how we were napping and we were working between naps. Now, no, it's not me. It's her working between her
Wow.
naps now. So, but
What is she doing right now? At what stage is she? Is she rolling over on her own? Is she
oh
demanding things? Is she pointing at
yeah,
you?
no, not yet. She'll be 3 months on the 9th of December. So we're not quite there, almost there. Not that I want to age us here in this podcast, but not quite 3 months. And so she's just smiling now and definitely starting to show preferences for mommy over everyone else, which is,
Smart.
you
She's a
know,
smart girl.
well, I have the food source, so that's why.
Mm.
But no, not rolling over or anything like that. Starting to swat at things. So it's cute.
Well, that's awesome. I think
Yeah.
okay. If you want to give me any tips, I'm going to talk to Felicia. Maybe we'll go get one of those little baby things too.
Oh, get a baby or a thing
Yeah.
to swat at?
No, just a baby. We need
The
a baby.
baby.
We need something new in this house.
Oh, well, I'm sure you can talk to some other people who live at your house, maybe.
I
Grandpa. No, I'm
think if she
kidding.
knew I was saying this, she'd probably burst into my office and beat me over the head.
She'd kill you. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, we're not supposed to be. Then look, there's never mind. She did hear me.
Well, because it's like baby. Shoo.
Yeah, an alarm went off and she ran in here to tell me,
right,
you're stupid. Yeah. All right. Anyway. It's been a fun month, hasn't it? We've had a holiday.
Been holiday. So should we intro? What do you think?
You think?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's do that.
Let's intro and then let's get into it.
It's been so long. I can't remember how we do this thing. And there I am moving forward again. All right. Anyway. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the Real Agents Podcast, a weekly podcast where our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to discuss life and real estate and everything in between. If you like your advice and insights shaken and not stirred, well, then this is the podcast for you.
I'm Nicole Dash.
And I'm Eric Harrington. And we are
the Real Agents.
Nice. I'm telling you, we get to 100 episodes of this and we will nail that. I'm sure.
Have you been listening to the episodes, by the way? Have you heard them?
I did. And you know what? It's really hard to listen to your own voice. That's all.
I think
we are good
better though. I feel like the last one and the one before the last were our best ones. So this will be even better, and so on and so on.
I will absolutely 100% agree with you that we are getting better.
We're getting better. Well, we've got, there's road to travel there. we've got a long journey to get to the top. So
the only way you can succeed is if you realize where you can improve.
Right. Exactly.
Wow. I just made that up on the spot.
So we got to listen to the back and put it in a t-shirt.
There it is. Okay. All right. For me, so my t-shirts have gotten smaller.
Oh, you're doing great.
Thank you for noticing.
Have noticed. See, the beard actually complements the new shape of your face. You're like, yeah, seriously.
Thank you for that.
Looking good.
I do have a long face. On the other hand,
had that great, loss right after the baby was born, and then it's just stalled. So that's okay. I'm all right with it for now.
You know what though? You're feeding. You are like you said earlier. You've got the food.
I've got
so
the food.
You take care of you, and you're going to be fine. You'll be just fine. You know what's interesting? Here's what I'm going to do right now, because I always screw this up later. If you like to hear about my beard, the baby, Savannah, and all these wonderful real estate things, do yourself a favor right now, like and subscribe, hit that little bell up in the corner so you get notified every time we create some new content. Go ahead and do it right now. And this way I won't have to say this again later.
Well, good. A+, Eric. I love that you remember that. That was good. We are getting better.
Myself a pat on the back for that one.
That was good.
All right. So what have you been up to? Talk to me. What's going on in your life?
So we just finished the Thanksgiving holidays, right? I'll go ahead and say it. It's fine. And I had a full house the whole week leading up to Thanksgiving. I mean, every room was filled. My sisters, all from out of town, my mom, and my father. And my mom and my dad divorced when I was 7. So he didn't stay in the house with me, but he was here for the week in a hotel. But we all had a joint Thanksgiving. And I don't think that's ever happened. Maybe once since they were divorced, we had a joint Thanksgiving. And it was really great. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Now, is this so everyone's first chance to meet Savannah?
Some of them, yeah, like half of them. It was their first chance. So it was nice. And there were lots of little kids because I had, little cousins, and it was a full house, but everyone pitched in. I didn't have to do the turkey this year, so that was nice. And it was great. That's what, to me, Thanksgiving's all about. It's just coming together with family.
Did you do any of the cooking, or did you just get to sit back and watch?
So funny story. So originally I was only going to do one thing, which was I do quiches, which isn't traditional, but growing up, that was my sister's favorite. So I always make quiches for as a side dish. Um, but so last minute, my sister was sick, who was coming up, and she was making sweet potatoes. So I went ahead and bought sweet potatoes. We we peeled
From
them,
scratch,
chopped them.
not
Yes.
canned sweet
No,
potatoes.
no, not canned. No, no, no. So we peeled them, we cubed them, and I was about to put them in the water to boil them when my sister sends me a picture of her boiling sweet potatoes because she was like, I felt better. I'm going to go ahead and do them. And I was trying to be helpful. So I'm looking at all of these like multiple pounds of sweet potatoes chopped up, looking at them. I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I can't make the sweet potato casserole. So I made for the first time ever sweet potato pie. And it was the hit of the night. Like everyone loved it. And I had never made it before. So I was very excited that I was able to kind of do that.
Did you save some?
No, that's gone. That's long gone. It was so good though, sweet potato pie. I don't know. I've always loved pumpkin pie, but I've never really had sweet potato pie. And so it was kind of like, I'll just make it like I make them.
It's sweet potato pie trumps pumpkin pie all the time,
I agree. I'm on
right?
board. I'm hashtag no. What is it? Sweet potato team sweet potato.
You're team sweet potato. I'm
Team
team
sweet
potato.
potato pie.
Sweet or regular. I'm just team potato. Um, I had I love to cook, and I get real nervous around the holidays because I always, not always, I like to smoke a turkey and do the sides and stuff, but I always worry that I'm going to screw it up. I get a lot of anxiety, and
Aw,
yeah, but it always turns out good. It always, my turkeys are majestic.
that's great. So
Is that
did
a
you
good way
smoke
to
a
describe
turkey
them?
this year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And what you do two turkeys or one turkey?
I do one turkey because that's all you ever need in my house because the one turkey will just like um it's I spatchcock it, which you cut the backbone out and
Hmm.
then you lay it flat so it all cooks at the same time.
Nice.
And I smoke it on a big green egg. And
Ooh,
I do the whole thing. I brine it and you let it sit in the fridge for a couple of days so the skin kind of dries out. It's just, I mean, it really is the best thing ever. It's awesome.
that's
And then I do mac and cheese and collard greens, and my wife steps up, Felicia steps up, and she does mashed potatoes, and she did a few other things, a salad, I believe, and my brother came, and Eli and his girlfriend came, Violet, and my daughter Caitlin and her boyfriend came, and we just had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
that's great.
A lot of
That's nice.
I really do think that I'm done now.
What
I don't want to
hosting?
cook. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Come on. You just want people to beg you to cook. You'll be like,
As
please,
cool as that
please.
sounds,
No.
as gratifying as that would be, no, I want somebody else to do it. I will do a backflip the day that Eli, my son, says, our producer, so he's listening,
Mr.
says,
Producer.
"Hey,
Hint,
Thanksgiving or
hint.
Christmas is at our place." Yeah.
Aw, that's nice. I like that you're open to that because my mom's still, I've been hosting Thanksgiving in my house for almost 15 years at least. And everyone, my mom, my sister, everyone comes to my house. My mom still talks about how she doesn't get to host Thanksgiving. And I'm like, you moved to Orlando. What are we supposed to do? This is home base still, So, but so I think that's awesome that you're open to it. You're like, I'll go
Oh
wherever you
yeah.
host. That's nice.
No, yeah, and Christmas is coming up, so I'm sure that the idea is going to be that we're going to do it at our house. That's just it. Felicia, she loves it. She
Mm,
wants us to do it all the time.
yeah. Yeah. Because it's like all her babies, everyone coming home, everyone together. And it's nice. I get it. I feel the same way. I'm kind of territorial about Thanksgiving now. So,
I think that's the maternal instinct in both of you, where
mm,
I would much rather um, not do that?
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I just want to sit back, watch football. Let me watch football. That's it.
That's so funny because I grew up in a household of all girls and we never watched football in Thanksgiving. Like that wasn't a thing. And so, of course, you know who I married, right? I married like a huge football fan, huge. And so when I first, you know, when you're combining holidays, he's like, yeah, and football. I'm like, football? This is Thanksgiving. This isn't. He's like, what do you mean? Everyone watches football for Thanksgiving. I was like, is that really a thing? Like, I didn't believe him. I didn't believe him at first. And we had to compromise because he wanted it on while we had dinner. And I was like, no, it can be in the other room downstairs while we eat dinner, not like the room with the. So
no, you got to have that on the big screen at dinner so you could scream and throw a turkey leg at the screen when your team fumbles the ball.
See, this was the debate we've had every year. No, now he's good. It's like dinner's so short, so just that little short time it's off.
Do you guys have any traditions that you do at Thanksgiving or any holiday for that matter?
Games are huge in our house. I think you're a big game house too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're very competitive and it's like, but you know, both all the holidays, anytime we're together as family, it's game time, you know. So we like Taboo. We were playing actually, and Taboo gets nasty because if you play Taboo with the buzzer, they hold that buzzer right at your ear. They're like, bzz, bzz. You said the word. But some of the other games we played things. And then this time we played Boomer versus, it was like some trivia game where it was like all of the generations. So you had like Gen X, Boomer, Gen Z, and Millennial. And so you had cards for each generation. And we happen to have representation of all those generations at our this week. And
what is this game?
Cool. I will send it to you. I have to look up the name. But it was really, really cool because it was like you'd get in two teams and then you'd pick which card you wanted to be asked a question from which generation. And then you'd have to answer it and then get points if you got 3 out of the 5 right on the card or something. I don't know. But it was fun. It was
plug away because you know whoever made the game obviously listens to our show and they're going to send us freebies. So
that's
plug
right.
away. Get the name. Come on.
I can't. I got to get up. I don't know. It's downstairs now.
Okay, don't go.
I'm not getting up.
we play. What do we play? We play a lot of. There's this game called Code Names, where you. I don't know, it's great. It's like a group game where you try to think what the other person's thinking. We also play Cards Against Humanity. That's a fun one.
Oh yeah,
it gets kind of crazy, but yeah, but that's fun. Yeah, we're a big game house. We have a lot of games in the rotation. We break out some of the classics though, like Yahtzee. And yeah. Haven't played Monopoly in a while. We need to break that out. But who's got a weekend to play Monopoly?
I know, right? It's funny because like my kids have such a short attention span, so they like the fast pace. Like they're all into all of the like screaming out name games and catchphrase and like all that stuff where it's just like quickly pass it, say it. But when we're playing like a board game, they're okay, but they're like, yeah, this is an interesting.
Yeah, attention spans are this big right now. Yeah, so Monopoly, Life, all those games where you got to devote an hour, 2 hours. Yeah, they're out the window.
Yeah, done.
We have this new tradition that we started a few years, and actually, I take that back. It's probably not a tradition yet, but we're working on it. You get a whole bunch of really cheap gifts and those little bottles of booze, right? Whole bunch of them, little ones. And then you wrap them up in cellophane and you layer them in cellophane and you make a cellophane ball, right? And so everybody stands around in a circle and you pass the ball around and you unwrap it. You get an unwrap and there's like a ding every 10 seconds. So you get, or 5 seconds. And anything that falls out while you're unwrapping, you get to keep.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, it's super fun. It's super fun. We have a video doing it. I'll send it to you one day. It's a blast.
I've never heard of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Now you can really turn up the volume and not play it with kids and just do booze. And every time booze comes out, you got to drink it. That could get
I
ugly.
like that one. That would
Yeah, I do
extra.
too. But
No, you're like, shots.
All right. So the holiday was fun. It was a blast, and yeah, we had a few people come in, and oddly enough, my brother was here, and my brother is looking to buy a house in the area.
Oh, he's relocating?
Yeah, he's considering it. He's considering moving from New York, New Jersey. He's back and forth to New York, New Jersey with his restaurants, and he's thinking about opening one in Virginia. So he might buy a house here. Only reason I bring it up is because I went house hunting with my brother and his wife.
Ooh, that's fun.
That was different.
Isn't that fun, or is that stressful?
Oh. It was, you know what? It was okay. It wasn't bad. What's funny is I know I'm fantastic at this, and yeah, but your brother doesn't want to listen to you. He's my older brother, and so I don't know if he respects my opinion the way he should.
Oh no, you're the expert.
I know, but I'm still his baby brother.
Yeah, I know. Those dynamics never change. I know. I'm the oldest though, so I guess I do that to my sisters.
You do all the bossing around. Good.
I do all the.
So you know what it's like then. It's like we're looking at this house and we're walking through, and the pictures look great. The pictures look fantastic, but we get there and it's obvious that it's a huge family. Like I think 8 people living there at one time. I think it's mom, dad, at least 5 kids, and a grandparent.
So that's my house. No, I'm kidding. almost my house.
But these folks did not take care of that. Oh, and 3 huge dogs.
Yeah.
3 huge dogs. And one of the rooms is basically the dog's restroom. Like I opened the door and just this wave of pet smell and hair and there was no carpet on the floor in that room. It was a room that led to outside. It was like a mud room in the lower level.
Right.
But they were just using it as
potty
dog bathroom.
Why would you use any house in your house as a dog bathroom? That's just a little.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
That's terrible.
But that was the house they loved.
Who? Your brother?
Yes.
Oh no. Because if what you're seeing is bad, imagine what you're not seeing. Like that's just that's awful. Why did they like that one? They could look past the potty room.
It had a nice kitchen. The kitchen was nice, but it was also I don't want to say smoke and mirrors. It was just painted cabinets. They had replaced the countertop for sale. And there were shiny parts of the house, but when you did a little digging, you could see that it was neglected. The house was totally neglected. They had a swimming pool that all the coping around the pool was cracked and terrible.
Right.
The pump system looked like it was in disarray. The pool was closed and there were huge rips in the tarp, and you can see down into the pool that it looked like it wasn't open last season, kind of thing.
Right. If it looks like that already,
and what was really weird about the dynamic of showing a house to a family member was every time I pointed out something that they should be concerned with, it came across to them, I think, like, oh, well, you just don't want us here. That kind of thing, like,
oh man,
like I wasn't being sincere about it, which I thought was, it was a little weird.
That is weird because, I mean, as we know, I would rather go into a house that needs a little cosmetic update, but has been pristinely taken care of by the previous owners. And so what if there's like doilies on a table and like old school curtains and, just like maybe a bathroom that's original, but the tile is perfect, because I know they've taken care of the home over the years versus one that has like, the slapping the lipstick on the pig thing, where you kind of do like a fake upgrade and then it just has not been taken care of well by the owners. To me, the care of the home indicates more than anything else. So you were right on. You were right.
I was right. I know I was right. We looked at I think it was 5 houses. And two were nice. And that one that they liked was a mess. But one of the ones that I thought, the best one in the group that I thought was $100,000 less than anything they were considering. And it was all those things that you said. It was maintained. It was, those folks live there, and anytime an issue came up with the house, you could tell they fixed it right away. You could see that items were addressed. The house was built, I think it was like 20 years ago, and it had a new HVAC system that was replaced, I think 2 years ago. All the systems had been updated. The roof looked like it was brand new. And their thing was that there was a wall. How would you take this wall out of the kitchen to give us a more open concept? And it's like, that's the easy stuff. You're $100,000 less than this house that's going to cost you, $100,000 to fix. You're coming in $100,000 less than that. You can take some of those funds and turn this house into whatever you want. And no, you won't have to worry about the HVAC system in 2 years. You won't have to worry about the roof in 4 years. You won't have to worry about, all pet odor and all that stuff that comes from letting your pets use your house as a bathroom, and a pool that probably doesn't work.
That has so much maintenance. Oh my gosh, even the best of pools cost you a lot of money. That's just
the price tag to fix that house, I think, would be astronomical. So hopefully this was like a week ago. I'm still trying to talk him out of it. So hopefully,
well, it's interesting because, as a listing agent, I go into a lot of houses that are the before, and I really appreciate a home where you can tell they took so much pride in their home and they've taken care of it so well. They upgrade. They're the kind of people that when we go to sell and then the home inspection report comes in, and even if the buyers haven't asked for certain things, we'll go through the list and try to fix as much as they can because they want to turn over like a nice clean house that's fixed. Those people, I really appreciate those people. And I really, of course, I recommend, decluttering to get the house on the market. And hey, it looks better in pictures if we maybe get rid of that wallpaper, right? I do have recommendations for getting the house ready, but I try not to push them into total lipstick on pig type renovations because I feel like the care shines through. And, it's a tricky balance. Like I think maybe we speak from seeing a lot of houses. But there are a lot of buyers that need that cosmetic slapping on in order to want the house. And so it's a balance.
Yeah. And it's so funny, especially with this last house that we looked at. The agent did everything that the trends tell them to do. It's like the kitchen was great. They put money into the kitchen, but they did nothing to the rest of the house. And that's what a lot of agents will tell you. Oh, make sure the kitchen looks good or update the bathrooms. And the sad thing about that is and we're back. That was fun.
That was good.
When the dog has to go, the dog has to go.
Crazy.
Right?
We have a professional team behind us here in each of our homes, obviously.
All right. So where was I? Oh, I was saying that this agent, I guess is doing a decent job by getting, the information across with the listing that she wanted to get across. And that was that we've got a new kitchen and it looks great, because it absolutely worked on my brother and his wife. And when we went in there, that's what caught their eye. That's what they remember. They don't remember that
the house with the nice kitchen, with the nice kitchen, but poop in the room next door.
Oh my God. You know what? And now you reminded me of something. I was looking at the pool equipment, and I was outside in the backyard, and I stepped in something that their dog left behind.
So you're going to remember that one. I mean,
that's how I remember the house. Yes. You know how you give a house a nickname?
Right. Yeah. Poop house.
That was the poop house.
The poop house. Yeah. That's crazy.
And I didn't use the word poop.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, I know when I meet with clients, it's, we have a list on return on investment, right? Paint, flooring, kitchens, bathrooms, then major systems, right? That's our order for return on investment. Paint, you can get like a 3-to-1 return on your investment when you're getting the home ready. Because a lot of times when we meet with people, we explain that your target buyer, they're watching HGTV. So they like certain things that are all cosmetic. If they walk into a house and it's painted in a neutral gray, white, gray, beige, something gray, and the floors are pristine, and you've had, some little updates, they're more likely to want the house rather than the house that's all original, but like all new systems, which the bones are good, but the cosmetics aren't. I just think that that's such a mistake though, for buyers to be so short-sighted. But as a listing agent, that's what I have to recommend my clients focus on, because I know that's what works for selling.
Yeah. Do you get pushback?
Oh, yeah.
Or what do you get more pushback on? Like what do you suggest they do that gets the most negative response usually?
2 things: painting cabinets and painting brick. Because, there are those people who are like, you never paint brick. Don't touch brick, right? Which I totally understand, because once you paint it, that's it. And then painting cabinets as well. But sometimes these cabinets are not good quality. They're old original cabinets, and the cost of replacing them would be so high that if you just paint them and put new hardware, it's going to show well in pictures. People are going to walk in and feel like it's refreshed. But, that's a short-term solution. And so whoever's buying has to understand that, right? They have to understand, like, well, eventually you will have to replace these cabinets. They're not new, but they look nice.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many buyers don't realize that it's just a painted cabinet.
Right.
How many times I have to point that out. Oh, these cabinets look fantastic. Yeah, they're great. They're painted. These are original to the house, and they're painted.
Right.
They're 18 years old.
Yeah.
But that one, folks.
Yeah. That
I don't want to use the term they fall for that all the time, but they do fall for that a lot.
Yeah. For sure. That's like, especially older owners who've been there a long time. Those are like, I have to very gently approach the subject. And I only do if I know it would make a very big difference. Like, for instance, if the brick, they've used their wood burning fireplace a lot, and it's just has smoke all around the edge of the fireplace on the brick itself, and it just looks dirty. It's amazing what a coat of paint will do. It just looks so nice. It kind of makes it a highlight of a room. I like painted brick, but for them, it's like, what are you talking about painting my brick? It's not for everyone. And so you really have to approach it gently and show pictures, and then ultimately it's their decision. So,
and then from a seller standpoint, if you're selling the house, it's not going to be your brick for that long. So,
you would think,
what
Eric,
you got to do.
You would think, right? But I've got to tell you, people are very attached to the choices in there. There's 2 kinds of people. The kind that are like, you know what? You're the expert. You pick the colors, you make the decisions. it's not my house anymore, right?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
those people. Then the other group are very emotionally attached, and they want to know every decision is being made, and they question every decision. They want to choose things themselves, which is fine, except um, a lot of times they're not necessarily in tune with the target market, right? Who their buyers are. And I've actually had one client, we paint they she had like a wallpaper all over her house, and we took the wallpaper off and we painted it a very neutral gray beige color to match the floor. We had our designer come in and pick the color, and she literally said to me, I can't go into this room because it makes me so upset. Like, I can't read a book in here, I can't spend any time in here. We were 3 weeks from putting it on the market, so it wasn't going to be her home anymore, but because it just really was an emotional feeling. We had to talk her off the ledge of not repainting it just for her living 3 weeks. It was,
Wow.
yeah, it was hard. It was like, I actually had our stager designer, Pam, she actually met me at the house to talk my client down because she was so
Holy smokes.
upset with the color choice.
Okay. Now, how quickly did her house sell?
Oh, it sold very quickly. That it was a good time of the market. It sold in the first weekend. So, that helped, obviously. But there was that moment there where I was like, are we going to have to repaint this whole house because she's so upset with the
Did she get
result?
it afterwards? Like, did she get that everything you did was right, and that's why you were successful, and that's why you got what you got? And
I
did
would
she
love
understand that?
I would love to believe that that was the case, but I'm not so sure she would have admitted it. She never admitted it to me. She was a little surly, unfortunately. There are those people who are just naturally a little more surly in that
Yeah,
regard.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Those
you
are,
know,
I love them. I love
yeah,
all people.
right,
Anyway,
exactly.
so that brings me to my next thing. Not surely people, but talking about the houses that are available now.
Hmm.
Um, the theme that I gathered while I was out looking with my brother this weekend was um, everyone who's on the market right now is on for for a need basis. They need to sell their home. Not that they want to sell their home, they need to sell their home. Is
Right.
that generally what
Um,
you see this time of the year?
yes and no. I'd say that's probably a vast majority are the need-based sellers, but I know there are also the sellers who are like, let's just see, and they do hold firm with their price and they sit a little bit, and they understand that this is maybe a slower time of year, but they're just like, well, let's just test out the market. I don't always agree with that, especially right now in this current
Yeah,
market, but that
yeah,
is the mindset of some of these people. It's like, oh, we're ready. Let's just put it on and try. In past years, I was all for that because I knew that it still would sell, even in the let's see and try. This
hmm
year, I feel like you have to get it right the first time. So you don't want to
yeah.
mess around, right? You don't want to be like, well, let me put it a little higher and see if that'll work in price. So that's part of the convincing the sellers, guiding them in the right way. That's part of our job.
What we noticed this weekend, I think everything we looked at had been on for over a week. Nothing was
Mhm.
brand new on the market. Well, and that had a lot to do with the holiday season. No one's going to put it on. Well, I shouldn't say no one. You see
Right.
very few houses go on a holiday weekend. Um, so everything we looked at, I think, was either a week plus, and I think of the 5 houses we looked at, 4 of them had already lowered their price substantially. And I can tell you that if we were to write on that one house that my brother liked, um, I would have I would have told him to not even come close to the price they were asking.
Right.
And as a listing agent, how do you prepare a client for the potential offers that they're going to receive at this time of the year?
The low ball offers.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, it really depends on the client, but just having that honest conversation about where we are in the market and what we might see. And then as part of that conversation is gauging their tolerance for it, because I don't know what they're going
You're
to
so
do.
good at that too. You know what?
Right.
You are. I've been
Well,
on
yeah.
those consultations with you where you're able to put people at ease to get them ready for that kind of tough pill. You know what I mean? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
you give them a little bit of the sugar before you give them the medicine, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to, right? That's a big part of our
Yeah.
job is communication. And I do lean a lot on like instincts when it comes to that. So I can't tell you how I do anything. So there are people out there who are like really good. They're coaches and they'll be like, step A, B, C, D. And I'm like, I'm just talking to my clients. I don't really know what I'm saying. But no, I mean, part of it is like, well, what is a laughable offer for you, for them, right? Like, what is actually a no go? What are they willing to do? And so everyone's different. Everyone has a different threshold for what they consider a low ball offer, what they consider in the range, and it's just figuring that out. So
Yeah, I've written some seriously low ball offers in the last few
yeah,
months. Like,
yeah,
you talk about coaching your buyers too, where you say to them, we can write this offer, but you run the potential of just getting this offer tossed.
right,
I can do my best to convey to the listing side, why we wrote an offer like this, but bottom line is what we're offering is ridiculously low, and it doesn't
right.
even meet market value. Um,
Would
but I think a lot of people are in that mode right now where they're reading and they're seeing what's going on in the market, so they want to really take advantage. And I've written I wrote an offer last month, and I probably talked about this, that was 20%, like a 20% discount on a
wow,
house.
that's a
Yeah,
lot.
that's
That's a
ridiculous.
lot. Well,
Yeah, it was
okay,
ridiculous.
so let me ask you, if you do one of these lowball offers and the sellers are like, all right, we'll counter you, and then we counter you halfway, right? We're like, we'll meet them halfway. Um, I mean, is that a win in your mind, or if you're
Oh,
doing that
absolutely.
kind of lowball?
I love if it, especially if I'm writing an offer that I know. And look, I don't like to write bad offers. I don't like to do it, and I try to get my clients to realize that this is not a good offer. We need to do better. But like you said, every personality is different, and sometimes you get those people that this is what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and either I'm going to do it with you or I'll do it with someone else. And sometimes you do have to say, well, you know what, maybe you should do it with someone else because this is my job, and I don't want to be known as the person who writes these terrible offers. But there's a way to do it too. You
Right.
just don't present a terrible offer. There's a way to package your offer so the seller understands that this is the start of a negotiation.
That's good. And I bet, and I know you're good at that because I know you're probably on the phone with the listing agent,
Yeah.
as you send it, explaining, your thought process, what you're
Mm-hmm.
hoping, and giving all the signals that there's room for negotiation. Because, I appreciate when people do that, when buyer agents have that communication, especially this market. What upsets me is when you just randomly open your email and there's an offer, and with no rhyme or reason, not hearing from the agent at all, and be like, well, is this really just what they want or is there room?
Yeah,
So,
and I absolutely have never done that and will never do that.
mhm.
But getting back to that question, about is it a win if they come back halfway? Absolutely. Yeah, you've got them involved. You've delivered that contract and now they've signed it. Now they may have changed things in it that you've got to sign off on, but at least we're involved. At least we've started the conversation, and when that happens, I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
when you don't get a response or when it just gets rejected.
Right.
Because
Like, absolutely
I
not.
don't know. I'm trying to think of times where I've been successful where they've rejected the offer and then we've come back and won. Um,
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I know, like, there have been times we've gotten insulting offers before. I'd say insulting. You wouldn't think it's insulting, but my client thought it was insulting, right?
Mhm.
And it was just so low and totally off the rails, in my opinion, just based on even looking 3 years ago at market, what it was happening in the market with the homes. And sometimes my client will be like, nope, you tell them to resubmit an offer, and I'll say, well, how about we counter? Um, and it honestly, when it's that much of a difference, it's hard to counter because it's like, okay, we'll go down to, they gave us a 50,000 below offer, but we'll go down 10, we'll counter it just 10
Yeah.
below asking, that's getting you nowhere, honestly. This,
You made me think, one of our colleagues told me a story of how they got such a terrible lowball offer that their counter offer was $5,000 over the original asking price.
I had a client who had wanted me to do that. That I will be fair, my client was unreasonable because the offer we received was only about 8,000 below asking. So, and it wasn't in this time, it was a couple years ago. And it was actually for the house that I thought was overpriced. I thought that was a very fair offer. And we had been on the market like 3 weeks. And so he was like, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to counter 5,000 higher. And I was like, really? Really? and and he was like in his 90s. He was very, very set in his ways. And it was just, I did it. I did. It was really, I was embarrassed that I did it, but because this is what my client wanted. And we do.
That's the bottom line, isn't it? Isn't that the bottom line?
But
we can provide all the expertise and all the knowledge and all the insight. But the bottom line is we're working for the seller or for the buyer, and they give the orders.
And you know what happened? So I sent the counter 5,000 higher than her asking, and I called the agent. I was like,
this is I love this conversation. Yeah.
I said, so I just sent a counter. I said, I want you to understand my client has thought it through very, 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 very well. And he feels strongly that he wanted me to send this offer. So I didn't want to throw him under the bus too much, but I wanted him to know like this was my client wanted. And so, please just let me know what we can do. And so then they came back. They came back and countered again another, like, we were only then 5,000 below asking. So they came up another 3 because it started at 8 below 3. Yeah. And then my client accepted it. And I was like, we could have gotten there without the 5,000 above. Like there was ways to get there without doing what he said, but he didn't want to listen to me. He wanted to be in charge. So, I mean, it worked out at the end. We ended up selling it. That agent did not take to offense. His client didn't take to offense because I think of the way I cushioned it when I talked to him. It was like,
that would have messed with me. If I was you, I would have been like, you know what? Maybe I need to do this on all my offers now.
Right.
Just come back high. It worked out. Maybe this guy's on to something. I've been doing it wrong.
He did. He knew he was right. Well, no, I think it's because that agent, the buyer's agent, was able to express to his client that my client was a very elderly, set in his ways guys, and not to take offense. And let's just send another counter to our counter and we can make it work. One of those kind of things. So,
you brought up so many things that I want to talk about, but we're already way in the behind the scenes conversations, the coaching. Oh my God, I want to talk about coaching.
Wow.
I want to talk about coaching. I know I leaned in, but we don't have time. We got to move on. We have to talk about what's on the schedule, what's coming up. And you're like way deep into DDA Love. Can you give us an update on what's going on there?
So we're getting to the end of the year. So DDA Love is our nonprofit organization for our team, Debbie Dogrul Associates. So it is in 2019, we went ahead and created this nonprofit organization. It's our like a charitable arm. And we do lots of things like do fund scholarships for high school seniors. We adopt different charities, local charities. We do food drives. We do all this stuff. So we're coming to the end of the year. We just did a big push, a GoFundMe campaign as part of Giving Tuesday after the holidays, after Thanksgiving. So we got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. And we've raised some money to help fund some of our activities and give back to the community. And we are about to get some new board members on there. So it's a lot of things happening at the end of the year. We gave 100 Thanksgiving dinner packages to those in need in the community. And
those videos are so awesome with Carolyn out there meeting everyone. She is such a great ambassador of that program too.
She's amazing. She's great. And I will tell you, so we created this in 2019. I was on the original board. And the way we structured it is you'd have half of us had a 3-year term, half of us had a 2-year term. And then, but we had to, when the term is up, you had to leave. And so Carolyn and I were original members on 3-year terms, but she's such a good ambassador that we had to rewrite our bylaws so she could remain on the board indefinitely.
And that's the smartest thing DDA Love has done.
Yes.
Has kept her on. Yeah. Cause she's so awesome. Her energy and just the vibe she gives out for everyone that comes in, and oh my God, when she gives the reports on what DDA Love is doing and she starts to cry every time.
She makes everybody cry.
I'm getting misty just thinking about it.
I know. Her heart is so into it. And I mean, all of ours is, but she just really, she goes above and beyond. She was sick, and normally we get all these nominations for these Thanksgiving dinners, and she'll call every single one of them and say, congratulations, you've been nominated. Come to the office, pick up your Thanksgiving dinner. But this year she was sick, so we divided it up. And I can't believe she was doing it all by herself all these years, first of all. It was like 100 phone calls and crazy. And they don't all answer the first time. So you're calling, texting, emailing. So I had my little group of like 20. And it was amazing. People would be like, really? Oh my gosh, you don't know how this impacts me. You don't know how much I need this for my family. We just weren't going to do a Thanksgiving. And it's so emotional and touching.
Yeah.
I just, I'm in awe that she's been doing that all this time with all of her.
I know she doesn't talk about it. She doesn't advertise that she's doing this stuff. You just see it happening, and it's so cool. The enthusiasm that she has for it. And those conversations aren't, like a 1-minute conversation, especially with Carolyn. She's on the phone with those folks for 20, 30 minutes probably.
Oh, yeah.
She knows getting the whole backstory and the front story. She's great. Probably following up a day later.
Yeah, she probably has best friends out of it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
All of them. She's amazing.
No, and I will bring this up again that DDA Love Foundation does the chili cook-off. And,
that's right. And you were a winner.
I was the 3rd place winner. Which I think there needs to be a recount. No,
you know what? Yours was so good. And I know that they were struggling to place it because they narrowed it down to the top 3, and I was watching the judges. They kept tasting it. It was kind of cool. They taste it, they talk, they taste it. So I think it was a toss up, honestly, between the 3. Yours was I liked yours. Yours had a little heat, but not too much heat. It was good.
I think the judges were drunk.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
It was good though. It was really good.
All right. Well, I'm looking at it, Nicole. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we did. I think we did great.
I think we are truly real agents. We're real agents of fun.
Real agents of change.
And we are real agents of real estate.
Real estate.
Woo! Nice. So once again, make sure to like and subscribe. We have so much fun doing this. It's so much fun talking to you, Nicole. I hope you enjoy talking to me too.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's great. We've got a podcast chemistry. I like it.
I'm just fishing for plugs. Come on, talk more about my awesome beard. Come back next week, and I won't have the beard. It's going away.
No, I like the beard.
No, it's gone.
I'm team beard. All right.
Fine. Hashtag beard. Hashtag time to shave.
Beard. I don't know.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Nicole.
Take care.
See you.
Bye.